We're on our way to FamiLAB, which is a makerspace here in Orlando, and today is their open house, so we're gonna see what it's all about.
Pretty excited about checking out the FamiLAB, even though I don't really know what it is. Do we get to like battle robots to the death?
I don't think so. I know that they have a laser cutter. I know they have a 3D printer.
Oh, can I 3D print like a model of myself?
I don't know if you can 3D print a model of yourself. You can probably definitely 3D print something. Because in order to 3D print a model of yourself, we would be there for like 8 hours.
Why?
Because it takes a long time to 3D print something.
Oh.
But I mean, I know that they do little like medallions with their symbol on it, so they'll probably print you out one of those. That only takes, I think, maybe like 30 minutes.
That is cool.
Yeah, sorry.
But I am excited about going to the FamiLAB.
I told you guys it's a maker space, but that doesn't really make any sense if you don't know what a maker is. And I'm gonna do my best to try to explain what a maker is, because it is the most loosely based word that I can ever imagine. A maker is somebody that makes stuff.
What?
So, a maker is somebody that takes an idea that they have and makes it happen. Like, you know how you've had those ideas in the shower, like, oh man, wouldn't it be awesome if I could, when I walk into my house, it just, stuff turns on, like my lights turn on and my computer turns on and it reads my email to me. Makers do that sort of stuff on a daily basis. Like, that's what they do. They make stuff awesome. Here's the inside of the lab, which this part of the lab is mostly, you know, it looks like a warehouse because that's what they build stuff here. Well, this is Mike. He's going to give us a tour.
So welcome to FamiLAB. This is our warehouse space, our dirty fabrication space. We've got all kinds of neat things here. We've got 3D printers, CNC mills. We have CNC router, table saw, bandsaw, pretty much all the necessary tools you need to build just about anything you can dream up. A 4-foot by 4-foot CNC routing table. So you can put a piece of plywood or plastic up on here and you can cut all kinds of neat things. Here's a logo that we did of the lab a little while ago. 3-axis CNC mill. It's a Haas VF1 1992. It was donated to us by a local machine shop in pretty rough shape, but we spent some time, cleaned it up, and got it all back up and running. And someone actually cut this tonight with it. This is a buttstock adapter for a shotgun.
There's a screen printing machine up there. That's fun.
And these were ones that have, you know, fallen off during hurricanes or something and have a broken piece on them, so they get donated. These are actually hooked up to react to the audio that's playing in the building.
Well, I taught a class last Friday.
Our Weeping Angel dummy. The spinning looking thing there is a persistence of vision machine. So it actually spins around and you get lights and everything that makes cool patterns.
Oh, that's cool. Everything with giant googly eyes is awesome.
So this is our 3D printing area. We've got 3 of our 3D printers out here right now. A couple different styles, but you see they all are printing something. Now you just work by essentially building the plastic up layer by layer by layer, extruding a very small, thin line of plastic for each layer. This one's actually printing a plastic called ABS, and the Ultimaker on your right is printing a plastic called PLA, which is a corn-based plastic.
It smells like waffles when it melts.
It does kind of smell like waffles.
These were printed?
Yep, those are 3D printed frogs.
That's pretty fun.
That's plastic and a very, very small bead.
And that's a really big 3D printed frog.
So the actual
that one was printed on an Ultimaker.
Printing a second one.
Took a really long time, so it was set to very, very high quality.
I'm printing out a toy that I designed.
They're gonna make this grill totally self-sufficient. That's pretty awesome. And this is their little classroom. Thank you.
Somebody made this and I really like it.
I know that just looks like a big pile of stuff, but I'm sure everything has a little story. I like just going around and picking stuff up. I'm sure I'm probably not supposed to, because this is probably somebody's like hard work, but look at that. It's one piece of wood that they cut on the laser so that it could bend. Awesome looking. Uncontrolled laser area. You guys see this thing up here? That is, you know, in the Universal Cinematic Spectacular where they have the waterfall? That's a waterfall printer, like a drip printer, where you can see an image that's in the waterfall. That's what that does. That's really cool. I kind of want to see it in action. I don't think we'll be able to tonight, but it's pretty neat. They're vacuum forming stuff.
A few inches, all like this. So you have one light shining through on this and another one shining back on the white wall so that you can run one color pattern on the back and another color pattern across the front. And for those of y'all that didn't watch Doctor Who, y'all might have seen these in the TARDIS. It's what inspired this new light.
So these are called Neopixels, and it's like how many, like, not four, a ton of strips of LEDs all put together that are running off a little Arduino that makes it so that it says stuff across it.
So, basically what we've got is a PN532 shield down here that is only responsible for reading the tag data, and then what it does is it sends that data up through this little pigtail into an Arduino up here that interprets that data, checks it against a database, and decides whether the user is authorized or not. So what ends up happening is when you slide your hand past the fairing, bike turns on. I've got a little light on the Arduino to tell you whether it's enabled or not. And then all that does is, like I said, compares it to a database. If the user is authorized, if the tag's unique ID is known to it, it will send a signal to a small relay, which is this guy right here, that is connected to two large automotive relays to drive the two circuits for ignition up under the gas tank. And those are soldered, if you come around here, you can see the wires going in up to the key switch, and they're just soldered into the contacts that would normally short when you turn the key. So the result is you've got starting around the bike, slide my hand past the reader, bike shuts off.
Now,
and all of that's done without keys.
You didn't quite explain why your hand works.
So right here, if you look at this little shadow right here, I've got a small NTAG 203 Type 2 NFC compatible chip implanted in my hand. And this system will work with any NFC tag. They're purchasable online you can pick them up for 50 cents or so. One of the nice things about this is you can, like I said, buy them for 70 cents, give them to someone, have them keep it on their keychain, and what you end up with is just a really easy way to authenticate someone to any system that you make like this. Right now, systems like these are very do-it-yourself, but we're working on cheap NFC-compatible door locks that you can sell, purchase one, put it in with a screwdriver, and have your front door be completely NFC compatible. That's one of the projects that I'm working on with a company called Dangerous Things. There's all sorts of really interesting things that you can use this for when you start to look at systems like this. So this is but one of them, one of my many systems that I've got set up so that I don't have to use keys anymore, and I don't.
Yay!
Basically, you run a current through a loop of wire, and you've got that current running through that wire, and then if you take another loop of the same size tuned to the first loop and put them close enough together, the current from the first one will couple to the second one via electromagnetic fields, and the second one will start to have a smaller current run through it. So that's how, like, electric toothbrushes can charge without having contacts or anything. So that's how the technology works. Basically, the reader, be it a phone or something like this, has a big loop. You hold it up to the tag, it powers the tag, tag fires up, sends whatever information it has on it over back to that reader through, amusingly enough, the exact same antenna that it's using to be powered by the reader. And that's how it works. And it's really nice because it doesn't need any batteries. Because the systems are very simple, just composed of one microchip and that antenna, you can get tags for, like I said, 20 cents, 30 cents, even if you go to like polyurethane encoded. Something like this is actually the key fob I was talking about earlier. You can actually see the integrated circuit and antenna in the epoxy. Very, very durable. So not something that you're going to have to worry about if you keep one in your wallet, not going to have to worry about it getting wet or anything like that. But yeah, that's the technology, and this is but one of the many things that you can use it for.
Can you first tell us about it? And then
Sure. I mean,
just because it looks like you made it.
yeah, well, so it's actually a kit. The frame is an AeroQuad cyclone frame, which is everything you see at Shiny pretty much on it is part of this kit. It's kind of got this little stack up here where we've got the flight control electronics, there's the receiver, and there's the autopilot that actually controls all four motors. These are the electronic speed controllers, which control the motors themselves, the current going to the motor. Down on the bottom here, we've got our battery and a GoPro that we've got just to take some pictures of it. And this is actually isolated because these motors create vibrations. These motors are isolated from the rest of the frame, so this can rotate with the rest of it holding still, so that when these motors are shaking around up here, it won't affect the camera or whatever you've got on there, or the accelerometers on the autopilot.
So that filters out all the high frequency mechanically.
Yeah, and it helps out with, like, if you have an old CC or something, or the CMOS sensors that have the rolling shutter effect, the jello effect, it'll kind of lower that as well. It's really cool. You can do a lot of stuff with it. You can add a GPS and have it do like return to home or position hold. All kinds of really neat things you can do.
That's pretty awesome.
What do you do with it?
I just fly around for fun. I do some other RC stuff, and I kind of wanted to get one just to play with it. And it was a fairly inexpensive way to get into it, so I did that. It's about $400 or so. Total, all the parts.
Can we see it flying?
Sure.
That was cool. Yeah. That was awesome. It was really funny. He brought it out here and just flew it, and like everybody gathered around him to look at it.
That makes me want one.
I know.
Gather and flock to me because of my quadcopter.
$400, please.
Take my money.
It's gonna catch the wind here at the top of the building. Oh. You turned the flash on. Dang.
That's awesome. So how high can it go?
Really high?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did it work? This is what's awesome about this place.
This one's a little better than
Look at how excited he is.
This kid is smarter than I will ever be. Ever.
He was talking about Raspberry Pis and Jen's like, yeah, let's get some dessert.
That's not what I said.
It was a most enjoyable time at FamiLAB, which is, by the way, the largest maker space in Central Florida.
My favorite part about the whole thing, I thought the entire thing was awesome. Like the location, just it being this huge warehouse, the fact that they had a classroom, they had like kind of like a hangout area with like the 3D printers, and then just the outdoor space. I mean, it was just all really, really cool. But the coolest part to me was that everybody was just there like hanging out, and they were all just like talking about everything that they were interested in, and everybody had like kind of similar interests but also very different, and everybody was just kind of like awesome. It was just really cool that everybody, like, I wish that I had that I had like a group of people that I had something that in common with, that I would like join a club with them and hang out and hobby, do things. I don't have that, but I thought it was really neat.
You mean hang out and make stuff?
Yeah, it was awesome. I feel like if I went to the makerspace that I would definitely become inspired to make something, because there was just so much to do there. So if you guys ever have a chance and you want to look into getting a membership or going to another open house, you can definitely follow them on Twitter. They tweeted out their open house. They're at FamiLAB, and check it out and follow them and see if it's something that you want to do. You can also check out their website, FamiLAB.org. We'll put everything in the description below so that you guys can check it out if you like. And if you're in the Central Florida area, you definitely should.
I'll do my best to kind of answer any questions in the comments, but if you tweet them or if you send them an email or go to their website, you should be able to ask them any questions that I can't answer. But I gotta go to bed now because it's getting late. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and now it's time to pay the price.